Some people say money makes the world go round, and in my city, that's especially true. Some people say money is the root of all evil, but I don't agree with that. I believe money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you freedom and possibilities. Las Vegas was built on money. Every day, fortunes are won and lost on the roulette wheels and card tables here. Las Vegas Boulevard. The Strip is a monument to money. The New York skyline, an Egyptian pyramid, and a medieval castle compete to attract high-rolling visitors. But just beneath the glittering lights of Las Vegas is a labyrinth. 200 miles of flood tunnels, home to about 1,000 people struggling to survive in the city's dark underbelly. In a town of have and have-nots, money has driven these guys underground. They are the have-nots of Las Vegas. I guess you could call me one of the haves. My name is Wajdi Kassas. I'm 28 years old, and when I came to this country from Lebanon 9 years ago, I was in debt. Today, I'm a millionaire. I think what motivates me is not the money so much, it's really what the money can do for me. So I love to live, the fancy life, of course, I like to drive nice cars, like to buy the good clothes. That's all nice, but that's not the biggest thing. I like what money does. I enjoy the finest things in life. So, I kind of have a thing for that. I like to travel comfortably, go to nice places, travel in a very fashion way. But, what I like the most about my story is that it's all self-made. This is really the biggest, pride of my story is, I started from negative and, I made it all the way to the top. I'm on a journey through Las Vegas to try and understand why some people make it to the top and some fall through the cracks. I'm exploring this city's past, present, and future, and I want to find out what money and success means in America today. We're traveling down Route 66, nearly 4,000 kilometers of historic tarmac that once stretched from Los Angeles to Chicago. For decades, Las Vegas has been the city where Americans come to let their hair down. They call it Sin City. They say whatever happens here stays here, but I call it home. I just can't get enough of driving down the Las Vegas Strip, especially when I'm in my Ferrari. Some people may think it's tacky or tasteless, but maybe those guys are just jealous. Beauty is the first thing that comes in my mind when I look at the Strip. It's pretty cool. It's very fun to drive on the Strip, especially the Ferrari. Yeah, it's nice to cruise, and you feel like you're in a movie sometimes. Because if you look, on the right and on the left, you feel you're surrounded by art. Sometimes it doesn't even look real, especially at the night, it doesn't even look real. So it's pretty fun. You never get sick of the Strip, never. I like racing with some of the cars, it's fun. There's some cars that this car cannot beat though, like a Bugatti. I don't know about this Lambo, I think I can beat the Lambo. How you guys doing? Good? Where are you guys heading? Where are you guys heading? Just having some fun on the Strip? All right. A lot of tourists, especially the women, they're like, can I ride in the Ferrari? They like that a lot on the Strip. And, resembles, I guess, to them flashiness. They like it a lot. The tourists go crazy about it all the time. I worked hard for my money, and it's important to me to be able to enjoy the benefits. I think the difference between the rich people and poor people, should I say, in most cases, is, how bad they want it. Rich people, most of them, they became rich because they wanted it so bad. They're very motivated, and then they don't take no for an answer. They do whatever it takes to chase, their dreams, and they don't listen to the people that kind of always tells them no, no, no. They don't, they don't kind of give attention to the people that always don't believe in them. One of my dreams is to conquer the music industry, and I gave myself a head start by creating an Arabic version of the hit song Despacito. We shot the video in a fish market, and I funded the whole thing by myself. Right now, it's got over 2 million views. This is my house. Let me take you on a tour. Here's the living room where my brothers are hanging out. Say hello to my dog Teddy. And don't forget my office, where you can see all my sales trophies. They say you are what you do, and what I do is real estate, or to be specific, the vacation ownership industry. I am their top seller. So what I do is sales. I sell portions of the condos. So it's kind of like fractional ownership. It's a very interesting industry. I like it. The vacation ownership industry is booming in America, and especially Las Vegas. It's been growing for the last 7 years, and that's created lots of opportunities for entrepreneurs like me who have what it takes to be successful. It's really hard to say how much money people are making because you can make zero. The chances of success in the industry is about 2%. We try to recruit, every 100 we recruit, only 2% of them make it. When I say make it, like they make it like an average person. So I would say when it comes to income, I would say you could make from zero to all the way up to maybe $4 million a year. So it depends how good you do. So, but I guess an average would be someone that's good would make on an average of 400,000, I would say. But it wasn't always this way. When I arrived in 2009, this country was in the middle of a massive economic downturn, and Las Vegas was hit harder than almost anywhere.
It was awful. I refer to it as ground zero of the Great Recession. So probably the most dramatic statistic I can give you is that at the peak, over 70% of homeowners were underwater. They owed more money on their house than it was worth. And our unemployment rate was 14%. So you owe more money on your house than the house is worth, and you're unemployed. What are you going to do? You're sort of stuck. And we were in really bad shape.
How much has the economy recovered since the crash?
Within the last 2 years, we've exceeded our peaks in almost every economic variable. Now, we've had 10 years where we could have been growing and weren't. So we were catching up to where we'd previously been. So I would say we're pretty much nearly recovered from where we were at before the crash.
After a decade of pain and recovery, many economists are betting on Las Vegas to boom again in 2018. And thanks to President Donald Trump's tax cut, people like me will be allowed to keep more of the money we make.
It's the economy, stupid. Did you ever hear that one? It's the economy. It is indeed. As soon as, really a few weeks from now, millions of American workers will be seeing the signs of America's comeback in their paychecks in February.
You might think that's unfair, but if you were in my position, you'd see things differently. There's no such thing as too much money. You could always find ways to spend money, help people, buy fine things. There's no such thing. I feel I deserve every penny that I have because, I've always had a vision for it and I worked very hard for it. So I do feel that I deserve that. Actually, I feel I deserve more than I get paid. You gotta always feel that you deserve more. I'm thankful at the same time. I don't take my life for granted. But you should always feel that, in my mind, that you deserve all the finest things in the world. And I feel that. I believe I'm worth it. And people like me rise to the top because we want it more than other people. But not every entrepreneur in Las Vegas agrees with me. Today, I've come to meet a lounge owner who believes this city's wealth should be distributed more evenly. I mean, some people believe that in Las Vegas, you need a lot of luck to make it big. I disagree with that. I mean, personally, I've made it big in Las Vegas, and I believe that if you work hard, especially in this city, because there's a lot of opportunities for growth, you can make it big, and it's really how bad you want it. But from your standpoint, how do you feel about that?
There's people that are born with a talent. There's people born with a certain type of talent that they create that income for themselves. There's people that has luck. There's people that work hard, but believe it or not, working hard is not enough sometimes. Sometimes you need the right circumstances to get to where you need to be. For an example, in your situation, you're doing well. When you came to the United States, was your brothers who introduced you to the business, correct? So you had some kind of a leadership, some kind of somebody holding your hand a little bit and telling you, hey, maybe you should try this. You could be good at it.
Support system.
Support system. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people are just born into poor neighborhoods. They have no health care. They have no education. If they want to go get education, it's very expensive. They cannot afford it. They have nobody to show them where to go or what to do. The educational system is weak because we don't put enough money into it. Would rather give tax breaks to people that are well off instead of putting money into the educational system. So the people that are getting educated, they have no idea how to budget. They have no idea how tax returns works. They have no idea how to start a job or make a resume. Simple things as that. They have no clue. So how are they going to be able to succeed? The whole system, the way it's going right now, it's leaning more towards let's give more to the wealthy.
In Las Vegas after dark, you'll usually find me cruising down the strip, eating in the best restaurants or hitting up the clubs. But tonight, I'm going to a place I've never been before in the city. The underground tunnels beneath Las Vegas where the city's poorest people hang out. My guide is Jimmy Frey, an advocate for the homeless.
Anyone tells you that Vegas is in a recession? No. Those casinos run this town. And there's so much money that goes in and out, billions of dollars. And you can't tell me that there's a plot of land. They're building a stadium across from the Mandalay Bay for the Raiders. It's $1 billion stadium. But you can't take a little bit of that and make a camp somewhere, or maybe a community center with some showers and bathrooms.
Do you feel maybe they don't want to do that so they don't increase the amount?
I think it's out of sight, out of mind. I think it's out of sight, out of mind. It's a very image-conscious town. You know, the glitz, the glam, the lights, the bright lights, the money that rolls through this town, it's a big part of it. If you throw homeless into that, then you lose an image.
Oh my God, never seen something like this. Down here, it's cold, damp, and dark. But amazingly, thousands of people call these tunnels home. When it rains, the tunnels flood, and sometimes people are swept away by the waters.
We really got hit by a storm and we lost one of our friends here. He died, he drowned. It drowned him. So, a little before August. One thing is, like cops say, out of sight, out of mind. And down here they don't see us, like if we were up top, because they chase them, they push everybody around out here.
Have you applied for work before?
I've held a job for 16 years. You know.
Have you tried to apply to like McDonald's, In-N-Out, anything like that? Before?
Yeah. But I'm overqualified because I went to chefs.
If you're homeless, you're already considered a junkie or a thief or
a thief,
whatever. They give us a bad image just by this is the way for to control where we are or where we supposed to go or whatever. I think that's why a lot of people don't get into these programs, because they try to control you. Now, most people are homeless because they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told what to do.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a convict. I've got over 15 years in prison, you know what I mean? And one thing I hate is being told what to do, you know what I mean? If I want to be told what to do, I'll just go back to prison, you know what I mean?
Meeting the down and outs of Las Vegas was an eye-opening experience for me. But it still didn't change my opinion that in the end, we all get what we deserve. And today I have the day off, so I deserve a trip to the salon. Hairdresser Charles Wajdi is another entrepreneur who's made it big in Vegas. His salon may be expensive, but you get what you pay for. And today I have a proposition for him. I think what's missing also in the equation is one thing. How much do you think sales would be, how much more sales you would have if I was the face of this salon?
That's for sure.
Right?
That's for sure.
I think that's what you're missing is
the sales aspect is very important.
me being the image of this place. I don't think I'm flashy. I mean, it might look, some people view me as flashy because I dress up. I like to wear brands, not because they're expensive, because I like them. I like to own nice cars, live in a nice house. A lot of people do view me, people who don't know me, they view me as flashy. But people that knows me, if you ask them, they would say I'm pretty humble. I view myself as a humble guy. Did you catch that? Now that I'm looking my best, it's time to hit the basketball court. There's a strong Lebanese community in Las Vegas, and we all look out for each other, except when we're playing basketball. I'm a very competitive person. I hate to lose, and I can't stand losing actually. So I'm always all-in kind of person. So you can see we're all kind of the same. We're like a bunch of Lebanese people all fighting for the ball. It's kind of fun. If you see us, you feel like we're playing in the NBA Finals here. I think we're gonna win today. You guys are gonna see I'm gonna perform really well, and gonna shoot some good 3 points and teach him a good lesson for sure. First game is over. Team Wajdi, which is my team, we won. The Lebanese team. 15-7. Khalil is the losers team. He's their star. They lost the first game.
I lost.
And then the next game he'll lose again. So he's part of the losing team as well.
He's gonna lose right now.
All right.
Teach him a lesson right now.
So
here we go.
So it's a lot of fun. Winning is always fun too. We're winning and having fun at the same time.
What's more important?
Winning, then having fun. I can't have fun without winning. Las Vegas is all about winning. Some people come here looking to win big in the casinos. Others want to reinvent themselves and win big with their lives. But the odds aren't always stacked in your favor. So is Las Vegas a city for winners and losers?
I would say both, but I would say probably the majority of it's losers. People still have to win, people still have to enjoy themselves, but the house always wins.
My parents has always believed in every one of us. Always kind of gave us the freedom to do whatever we like. So we grew up in a very chill environment, and they always had belief in us, and we were always close and always liked to see each other grow. I think that environment helped us a lot to stick together and as well succeed together.
All other countries, even our own, the United States of America has a colonial legacy. Who did we get our independence from? From England. All right, Mexico. Who did Mexico
My
get
parents
independence
also made sure we all got a good education. But that isn't so easy if you grow up in Las Vegas. In fact, when it comes to education, Nevada is the worst performing state in the entire country. We're 50th out of 50 in the latest public education ratings. I've come to a local school here to talk to a teacher, an Iraq War veteran who's running for Congress to try to do something about the state's dismal education record.
Education directly correlates to economic success later on in your life, whether you go into business, whether you go into civic leadership, whether you go into any career sectors. So education has to be strengthened. I do a study in my class. I say, how many of you guys are going to be millionaires when you grow up? And all the class raises their hands, you know. But the reality is that millionaires make up less than 1% of our population. So I think there's this real concern and this drive to succeed and to become rich. And we give the rich all kinds of benefits. You know, today, we have this tax plan, which I'm not in favor of. That it actually is a real gift to the wealthy. So I think that in the fact that we have this tremendous income inequality, to wealth gaps between the regular people, the working class, middle class, poorer Americans, and the top 1% is also another evidence of this. That there's this widening gap between the powerful and the wealthy and everybody else, and the wider that gap becomes, the less stable our nation becomes.
And what's your message if you were to be elected to the rich people in the United States?
I say that, hey, if we don't have a strong and thriving middle class, it doesn't matter how much money you have, this country's not going to be stable. One of the great lessons of history is that if there's not a strong, vibrant middle class, you're going to have revolutions. You look at the French Revolution, you look at the Mexican Revolution, you look at the Russian Revolution. We should always remember that as we move forward, and that's something I would tell wealthier people. That if you don't reinvest in America itself, if you take the money out of those offshore accounts, bring it back to this country, don't try to cheat on your taxes, so on and so forth. That money are due to the people of this nation. And again, if you don't invest in this country, then this country is going to be something that is not going to be as stable as you would probably like it. That's going to have an impact on your future as well.
Since you're a guy of faith, how do you view the saying that money is the root for all evil?
I agree with it. I think money has a certain, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it has a certain ability to corrupt people, and good people even. So we have to always be careful especially when there's large sums of money that are being thrown around, especially in something like politics. I think that big money in politics has really undermined our democracy. The Citizens United decision of the Supreme Court, I think, is really just eroding our American democracy. So I would definitely agree with that statement, that money is the root of maybe not all evil, but so much of the bad things that are taking place in our country and as well as the world at large.
In a state where billions of dollars passes through the casinos every year, educational spending is one of the lowest in the country. Gaming revenue in Nevada passed $25 billion in 2016, but the state spends about $8,200 per student on education, compared to a national average of $11,700. In 2015, the last year data was available. Nearly a third of children didn't graduate from high school. Las Vegas may have many problems. Poor public services, a vast community of underground homeless, a boom and bust economy, and even the worst mass shooting in modern history. But none of that stops people from coming here in their millions. And it doesn't stop this city from being world famous. That's because this city is the embodiment of the American dream.
There was somebody who once called Las Vegas an ethical car wash. You come here and you're just taken at face value, accepted, you can go on with your life. There's something to be said for that and the power of forgiveness.
From Elvis to Sinatra, from the mafia to the big corporations, Las Vegas is a magnet for people who dream of success. A lot of people, they tell me, you're very lucky because you live in Vegas, or you're very lucky because the bosses love you or you work, and you're very lucky because you can open a company and you have a support system, like people believe in you. So to answer that question, I don't consider myself lucky. I consider myself blessed. I'm definitely blessed to have an opportunity. But when it comes to luck, I feel the harder you work, the luckier you get. You can't be lucky if you're not working on something. So luck only comes when you're working toward achieving something. Love it or hate it, this is one of the most iconic places on the planet. Everybody has to come to Las Vegas at least once in their life. Win or lose, and you'll probably lose, Las Vegas will always welcome you back to try your luck one more time.